Ja, welcome to the Hyperpopcast, young Fräulein.
Hello and welcome to episode 1 of the Hyperpopcast with your hosts, Brioche.
Yo, it's me, Brioche. Welcome to the Hyperpopcast.
Seth.
Hello, my name is Seth. I don't know a lot about Hyperpop, but I am here.
And myself, Jake. So, should we get straight into the conversation here, guys?
Yeah, I think so.
We're going to be talking first off about a brief history of the genre, as it is episode 1 of our podcast here.
L'histoire des Hyperpop.
Oui.
Is that foreshadowing?
I think that's something. It means something in French.
So, Hyperpop. When would we consider Hyperpop to have started?
Oh, that is such an interesting topic, Jake, because there's no real correct answer.
Exactly.
There's many different dates that could be said for the start of Hyperpop in its full form.
It was first used as a term in sometime in the 80s, I'm pretty sure, to describe the Cocteau Twins. So
yeah. I wouldn't say they're hyperpop.
I mean, I'd say hyperpop really as a genre properly starts around 2018. Do you guys agree with that?
I think that's the general consensus on the beginning of hyperpop.
And I'd say A.G. Cook's label PC Music, which obviously started 2014, but it's not till 2018.
That was a vital label in the creation of hyperpop.
It really pioneered the sound, I'd say.
Without PC Music, there would be no hyperpop.
No, and some of the greatest artists were on that label, of course.
Yeah.
Sophie.
Lemonade, lemonade. Lemonade, lemonade. Lemonade, lemonade.
Charlie XCX.
Yeah, some big artists. Charlie XCX.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, massive artists.
She's had a great year, hasn't she?
Yeah,
with
she
Brat,
really has with Brat, yeah. And that's really brought this genre to the mainstream.
So fresh and so clean, rock with the diamonds on the sleeve, breathing in the Stockholm breeze, get with rubbing on the beat.
Hey, yeah, we're rubbing on the beat.
Sweet.
Cameras flashing, hit the scene. We're rubbing in Charlie. Pull up to the party. 3 white lines, put the lime in the Bacardi. Icons in the flesh, just demon at a party. Mayor of my town, David Beckham in the Northeast. Yeah, I hear it calling.
Pick it up, darling, London calling. When I go prancing, yeah, I go all.
I mean, I remember that first boom, that 100 gecs, sort of late 2019, around 2020.
gecs.
Everyone was into that
If
kind
you
of
don't know,
shit.
if you don't know 100 gecs, get ready to listen to a bit and brace yourself because it is an intense listen.
So there you go, that's a little bit of 100 gecs. That's off their first album there, which is of course 1,000 gecs.
Yeah.
I mean, not the first release they did, but the first proper studio album.
Well, what's interesting to note about this is this album may be more likely to be considered glitchcore.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But glitchcore, due to this album, then became sort of the standard for hyperpop.
Yeah, I
All of the
definitely agree
features
with
of
that.
glitchcore became synonymous with hyperpop. It almost consumed the genre
Yeah.
in one bite.
Interesting.
So, Billy, should we talk about one of your favourite groups?
Yes, we should.
And that is, of course, Drain Gang.
We should definitely talk about Drain Gang. So, off the top of the dome, Drain Gang I've started maybe early 2010s, like 2012, 2013.
Sounds about right to me.
They started by making more cloud rap type stuff, which is all of the dreamy sort of hip hop beats that were around in the early 2010s.
My new name is Space God, ice cream paint job. Only come out in the dim lights. Vampire shouts out to AE. I'm riding in that 6-0. Move fast, stick slow. Think fast, talk slow. Dude try to play me. Leaving with his bitch broke. Sorry for the cuss words. Fuck that. Curse mode.
And then as time went on, as we got later into the 2010s, they started using features that were more typical of hyperpop, like all of the cute little sounds and use of different kind of synths and all of that kind of stuff.
I know you see me win and allow it.
So in a way, they're their own genre of music, but I think that they are very important to influence hyperpop.
Weren't Echo 2K and Blade in like a punk band together?
Yeah, it's called like Crosshead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Echo 2K has like a mohawk.
Well, it's really interesting to hear about the evolution there of Drain Gang as a collective, sort of spanning multiple genres there. And their influence on hyperpop as a whole, would you say it's quite significant?
I would say they might be, I guess I'm biased, I think they're the most important influence on hyperpop to this day. They've managed to carve a whole genre out of their music.
And they still work with other hyperpop artists, so like, you know, Drain fucking Blade was on a Charlie XCX album recently. Remix of one, so.
I must confess I'm under stress, I'm under pressure in my head. I'm 6 feet underneath myself, I'm trying to catch up with my breath, even with everything on deck.
Well, so let me talk a bit about a group that I'm really into. It's High Noni. High Noni will never die. High Noni forever, High Noni for life, it's called. They're a Seattle group that was formed in 2018 and then sadly disbanded around 2020 after the death of Pascal and Nez in 2019, both due to opioid overdose. Fentanyl's a real problem out there, guys. Don't fuck around with that shit. And if you're in America, I strongly suggest getting a fucking testing kit, dude.
It might just save your life.
It may just, exactly.
Naloxone is a medication that rapidly reverses the effects of an opioid overdose in an emergency situation. It can be administered quickly by anyone. Naloxone has no potential for misuse, and it can save someone's life.
But High Noni as a group, they're personally a big sort of influence on me, sort of how I got really into the genre, you know, late high school years, listening to that sort of before really hyperpop became a proper thing. Really influential group, and of course Capo XXO went on afterwards to have a really successful career, and he sort of got into a lot of scene core after the deaths of Pascal and Nez.
I really enjoyed that. I think I also like a song by, I know it features artist Oath One, but I think it might be Oath One and Dreamcash. Yeah. But I know Oath One is a frequent collaborator with Capo XXO.
Yes, yeah, they've definitely got a lot of tracks
There's a song
together
called Doing It Wrong, which I used to listen to back in the day, and I really liked.
Okay.
That's
I
a
don't
really
actually
cool
know that
song.
one. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
In fact, maybe we'll play a snippet
Play a little
here.
bit now.
Yeah.
Wow, that really was something.
Yeah, definitely.
So what should we move on to next?
Well, I mean, Capo XXO, scene core as a genre.
Oh yeah, scene
sort of
core.
as a. I consider it sort of quite in its own bracket. Would you guys agree?
Yeah,
much darker imagery.
Agree.
Yeah, much darker imagery. It's very reminiscent of sort of the 2000s emo scene, and of course the sort of scene culture of kids with the crazy fucking bangs and the dyed hair, you know, painting your nails and shit.
Yeah.
We actually went to a gig where there was a lot of scene core playing recently, didn't we, Billy?
Yeah, we did. That was not that long ago at all.
No, less than half a year.
It features a lot of interest. It was headlined by High C, who is, I would say, is definitely a hyperpop artist, or he's got some tracks that I would definitely consider scene core. If we play one now, you'll get what I mean. But also at the gig was a lovely gentleman called Baymac, who I would say, I think he's almost an exclusive scenecore artist. He has a few songs that maybe not be, but I think that's his main thing is scenecore.
Yeah, definitely. It's scenecore and that emo rap.
Yeah.
Keeping it in the fields, keeping it emotional.
Yeah. It's difficult to describe. They normally have like the 4 on the floor kick drum with sometimes sampled from older tracks, and they've got a lot of synths, and sometimes they even degrade the sound to make it sound older.
Yeah, that sort of
than it is.
Effect.
Yeah, to make it sound like almost like a computer game.
And then of course scenecore was popularised pretty heavily by TikTok, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, tell me about it. They love it on that app.
I think that the biggest song I'd say that came out of that sort of boom back 2020 time was All I Want Is You by Rebsy and
you will
Hershey
definitely,
Star.
if you spent any time on your phone in the past few years, you will definitely have heard that song.
Yeah, for sure. Let's play a little extract now.
I don't wanna talk, no, it's not up for discussion. You control my life, I feel like a fucking puppet. Keep telling me to shut it. Okay, baby, alright. I remember nights we were dancing in the moonlight. I remember hiding, I was shy and I had stage fright.
Wow, that certainly was something, wasn't it, guys? You can really hear the darker imagery and the sort of emo influence compared to sort of the earlier hyperpop we were discussing.
There's some dark connotations featured.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to the Hyperpopcast. It's been me, Brioche.
Me, Jake.
And me, Seth. Here
Thank
today.
you.
Yeah, thank you for
Have
listening.
a hyperpop day.